A 7-string guitar just isn't deep enough. So I bought a 5-string bass. The box was a little damaged, but the bass itself was fine. The specs are on screen. And it looks pretty good. The fretboard is black walnut, which looks similar to rosewood, but without any oils. The fret inlays look good from a distance, but they could have used a filler that matches the fretboard colour instead of the black one you see around the edges. Although the black does make them stand out. The nut is nicely cut and finished, no rough edges or problems apart from where the strings have been slid across the top of the nut, leaving some impressions. You can't really see it in this shot, but the washers on the tuners have the black paint stripped from where someone was tightening them too much. I mean, yeah, it's not black anymore, but I guess it shows they've been tightened properly. And here we can see that the tuners aren't really aligned properly. It's not a big deal, it's just kind of silly that this happens.
You want to buy from China? That's great. Buy from China. Buy toys from China.
It's a 3-piece maple neck with a scarf joint. It would have been nice to have the 3 pieces of maple with 2 thin pieces of walnut to match the fretboard. But apart from that, it's a relatively thin D-shaped neck that doesn't feel too unwieldy to play. As far as I'm aware, this is the only cosmetic flaw. I only noticed it after a day or two, but I think the paint was cracked while attaching the neck and it eventually just flaked off. The electronics are probably the neatest I've ever seen. It uses an active EQ, and unlike most cheap guitars, it has the correct tapered pots where they're supposed to be. So your volume knob actually has a long sweep from 0 to 10. It weighs 4.1 kilograms or about 9 pounds with no neck dive. And now for some riffs. Conclusion, my back hurts, my fingers hurt and my ears hurt. 8 out of 10 because the pickups have a peak in the low mids that's hard to EQ in a mix, and because the onboard EQ is a little limited in the band of frequencies it affects. I'd like even more of a treble cut and for the bass boost to be a little higher because it can clip the signal on the low end, while higher frequencies are still a little quiet. It'll also eat your batteries unless you lift the push-pull knob or unplug the cable every time you finish using it, but it also works passively too. If you do purchase one of these basses, then make sure to purchase it as part of Thoman's creative bundle, because you end up with the bass and a gig bag / dust cover thing for free. And that's it really, not too bad for under €200. Thanks for watching, subscribe for more, and don't forget to check out some of my DIY, improv jams or music theory videos.